Okay. Okay, we got everybody. Let's see. Hey, Sean.
Aloha.
I want to make sure Jaren is on. Jaren, you on?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, great. Oh, let's get started, and then we can get to our agenda. Hold on, I got a couple more people here. Oh, and if people can start just dropping your name and contact or name and affiliation in the chat, that would be greatly appreciated. And let's see. Let me also put the agenda in the chat for folks. Oops, I don't have it readily available. Hey, Sean, you get the agenda?
Yes. You want me to go get it and put it in the chat?
Well, no. Okay, let me kick it off, and then while I'm talking, maybe somebody will drop the agenda in the chat.
Okay.
Okay, so welcome to the Broadband Hui. This is episode number 268 on April 15th. Happy that everybody could join us today. We made it through another Kona low, so I'm glad to see everybody made it through to the other side. This is the third Wednesday of this month, April. And, again, do some quick introductions. My name is Bert Lum. I'm with the Hawaii Broadband office. And Chrissy is, I think, out at another event. And I'll probably tap a couple people like Sean and Dan to chime in here. With that, I did want to kind of start off with our kind of manao of the day. And in the process, of thinking of what would be appropriate, I kind of thought of, the perseverance, I guess, that we've all been managing through the years of doing the Broadband Hui. We started back in March of 2020, so it's been a good number of years, and we will continue as long as people see value to this. So, in thinking about something appropriate, I wanted to draw upon a thought that I had, and it was about water and how water can carve stone. And I thought, what would be an appropriate kind of olelo no iao, and I found this one, and it's kawai nokamea I lilo I kapu'u I pua nono. And the whole idea is that the islands were all formed through volcanic activity, and if you look at the volcano on the Big Island, and the lava and the lava fields, and the very stark kind of landscape that is there, and then you compare it to some of the older islands, like Kauai and Oahu, and I asked Gemini to come up with an image that kind of captured this olelo noeao. And the translation is, nothing is held back by the water of the islands, and the idea is that it not only carves out, the volcanic sort of mountaintop, but it basically is the source of life for the Ahupua'a. And so there was a combination of, the mountains, the stream, and the flowing of the water into the lo'i. And if you look at the photo, there's a loko'i'a, which is a fish pond. And so I thought, it's a good sort of metaphor for the perseverance, the perseverance of water, the not only the perseverance, but the bounty, as a result of water. And I reflect that back to, the work that we're doing, and with the hope that the bounty of doing some of this digital inclusion work is going to be reaped, by our current generations as well as generations to come. So that's my manao of the day, and I thought I'd share it with you, given the fact that we've been seeing quite a bit of water over the last bunch of weeks. So with that, I will get back to our agenda and see if we have any other folks joining us. Let's see. Let me grab the agenda here real quick and drop it into the chat. Now, with that, we've been talking about the use and adoption. DHHL came out with an RFP back in the December of last year, and I wanted to see if I could get Jaron to come on and talk a little bit about it, and he is graced us with his presence. So I wanted to give Jaron a chance to chat a little bit about the RFP and what you have in mind to do with the use and adoption RFP. And I will then now hand it over to you, Jaron, and you can take the mic.
Thanks, Bert. Hi, everyone. I'm Jaron. I'm the Broadband Program Administrator for the Department of Hawaii and Homelands. So Bert is right. We did have an RFP for our use and adoption portion of our program that was dropped in December. We finalized our contract and selected awardee. It's Ulu High Tech. So currently what we're working on is phase 1 is what we're calling it. So this is just focusing on planning, community engagement, program design, implementation support, evaluation, and reporting. Right now, we're currently doing a workforce study because we want to make sure that this workforce that we're training can get jobs after. We don't want to just throw money into the wind. Where the needs assessment is almost complete. Once we get all the data, we will be publishing it on our website. It's at dhhlbroadband.com if you guys are curious. All of our information is there. We do post updates there as well. All of the pictures that are on there are actually all lessees from the homestead as well. So, and the page is also translated in Hawaiian. We're looking at doing our first cohort in Molokai in the summer, but that is dependent on when we get the curriculum together. We're trying to make sure that it fits the needs of the tech community within Hawaii because we want to train people to get those jobs. In a nutshell, right, our use and adoption program is covering basic digital literacy, which is emails, navigating a computer, stuff like that. And it's primarily focused more on the youth because we think the youth can train the kapuna, and we do know that the kapuna has a lot of programs that are going on now. In my time at Hawaiian Homelands over the past 8 months, we've had a bunch of interns from Nanakuli High School, and they actually are the ones that kind of created the foundation for this RFP. They helped us create a curriculum that they think they need in their school, And one of the big things that we took away from it was that typing is not taught in the schools anymore. It's a really interesting thing because I remember growing up, typing was like a class we had to do, but they were saying that it's not something that's required anymore. So we realized that there's a big digital literacy gap there because if you can't type or if you're slow at typing, some of the job opportunities after high school gets limited, and applying for college also gets limited too because typing, which is a really weird thing, but it's something I think we take for granted. So that's pretty much our program in a nutshell. It's slowly going to be evolving. Right now, again, we're in a planning phase to get an implementation going. Once we get that cohort up, we'll be able to share a little bit more. But I do want to caveat that this is just for Hawaiian homelands. We are willing to share with the counties and everybody else if they want to piecemeal our stuff or use our data. We're welcome to have those conversations and kind of work together with that with you guys.
Darren, do you wanna take any questions?
Yeah, I have like 10 minutes before I gotta jump into another meeting, but yeah, I can take some questions.
No, you got the show, and right now you're our main guest, so I devote all this time to you. Hey, so anybody got some quick questions for Darren? Oh
Th-
yeah, Sean.
this is Sean. Hey, Jaron, first of all, congratulations on your progress. That's a big piece of work. I have lost track of what is the status of your current net, what's accessibility of broadband on DHHL now? What's your, does everybody have access? Do you have universal service? What are the speeds you're able to support? Are the networks resilient and affordable? I mean, I sort of so th those are big different questions than you're talking about today, but is that available on the website, or is there a way to catch an update on that progress?
Yeah, so on our infrastructure side, I can just briefly talk about it. There are some things that yeah, we just can't talk about due to the fact that it's just information that we can't share to the public because it's network information, it's infrastructure. Subscriber count, I don't know because we are working with both Hawaiian Telecom and Spectrum. I do know that majority of Hawaiian Homelands is connected either somehow, either through fiber or through a LEO provider. There are some small coverage gaps that we are currently addressing. We're actually going out to do some site visits. Over the summer. Actually, we were supposed to start 2 weeks ago, but all the weather kind of put a hindrance in that, so it pushed our timeline a little bit to the right. But majority of Hawaiian homelands is connected. There just is a few, in a sense, dead zones that we just need to verify. Um, you know, it is available, but it's one of the things that we've been realizing, at least in my program, is do people actually want the internet, right? Some people are happy with what they have, so it just depends. So we're gonna go out again to in a sense, survey and do some site visits to really verify what's out there again. Um, I don't know if that kind of answers your question.
Yes, but I don't want to hog up all your time. I'd love to get together and learn a lot more, but I understand some of that being proprietary. Um, just for your knowledge, my particular interest is sort of the state's regulation of bias providers, broadband internet access service, and also cable TV. So I'm curious if you have any interactions with the cable franchising process, but that might be off topic for this group. Thanks.
Yeah, we can have an offline conversation. I do know that that's more of a DCCA thing than us. We're just trying to get people connected.
Oh,
You know,
hi,
I did
sorry.
see I did see
Oh,
Tung's hand up. I want to go to Tung first, and then Jeffrey.
Yeah, I just want to comment, and thank you, Jaren, for sharing. And I think it's important, as we do these projects that we share, because, although currently it's relevant for Hawaiian homelands, if that model works, we could take it statewide, right? And so thank you, Jaren. Just wanted to just make that comment and appreciate you sharing that information with us. Thanks.
Thanks, Young. Hey, Jaffer.
Yeah, sorry. This is a message for Mr.
And
Jaron.
Jaffer, just real quick, you just
Oh,
introduce
yeah.
yourself.
So aloha, my name is Jaffer DeCruz. I'm the co-founder and lead team mentor of Tech Savvy Teens. And by any chance, is DHHL hiring any interns? I know some like maybe kids that are maybe looking for some internships.
Yeah. Are they in high school or in college or
Most of them are like straight out of high school, but most of them are
straight?
high school, I'd say, yeah. Some of them are
Okay.
high school, some of them are a little older.
So that's an interesting question. So yes, if I guess everybody can know now, but we do have a robust internship program at the Department of Hawaiian Homelands. We actually work through DLIR for this. Um, Currently, I've actually had 14 of them in the last 8 months, and then I have one currently, and then I have another one coming in May. So there are opportunities to do internships with the Department of Hawaiian Homelands through DLIR. Um, so just we can just send it to us and then we can see if there's a place where they can fit within the department. Because it is a capacity issue. We just physically don't have space. But yeah, we are welcoming interns. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a great question. And you know, for Tech Savvy Teens, I mean, it's a good pathway as Tech Savvy Teens, builds their cohort of instructors, and if they also are able to partake in a internship, I mean, it's great to see a pathway that they could go that has something that now legitimizes more activity on their resume. So that's a great opportunity. Hey, Dan.
Yeah, I wonder if the sandwich aisles has been cleared up so that they can't get in your way anymore.
So that's a great question, Dan. The answer is yes and no. We, I mean, it was on the commission docket. So we did terminate license 372 with the department. There is some legal stuff that's happening with that, but other than that, it's pretty much a clearer path forward. We're able to get into things that we currently couldn't get into, so it's making our infrastructure build outs a little bit easier because we have access to things now. The problem is some of this stuff wasn't maintained. So getting a good status of like the condition of the conduits, manholes, handholds, hand pools, and vaults is been an ongoing process for Hawaiian Homelands. I, I can say though it's been positive. It's been like I said, it's been easier to get places that were in a sense disconnected, reconnected. Hopefully that answers your question, Dan.
Well, okay, no, that's progress. And by the way, interns and college students and stuff could they could work both sides of the street where they do some training of people who need help learning to use the internet, and also they can go out and locate manholes and conduits and stuff like that. So um, that's a kind of a model. I like to work both sides of the street. So just a suggestion. Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. Hey, Wendy, I think I saw you come on. Did you want to ask any question? You're on mute.
Oh, sorry. No, I didn't have any questions. I was just happy that my son had a good question. But I know Kanaloa is here today to talk about key projects. So
Yeah. Any other questions for Jaron? Well, seeing none, Jaron, hey, mahalo for coming on and sharing an update on, what's happening over at DHHL. I love it when you come on and don't be a stranger. I'll definitely give you a heads up and, see if you got some updates to share with us. But you're always welcome to the Broadband Hui.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Just reach out to us if you have any questions.
Okay, sounds good. Mahalo, Jaron. Okay, with that, I wanted to give some time to Wendy and Tech Savvy Teens, and they got the crew here. We got Jaffer and Kikanaloa, and I think we talked a little bit about last Broadband Hui about their event over at Key Project, and I think I do want to repeat that because again, the next time we do meet, it'll be in May, and the actual event will be done by then. So with that, Wendy, why don't you maybe start us off with a little update on the Key Project event, and then share a little bit with some of the folks, where the sweet spot for tech savvy teens is, and maybe an update with. I mean, Jaron mentioned the work that you folks are doing with Kupuna, and how some of the sort of basic digital literacy training is also key in use and adoption, and how that might fit into the rollout of the DHHL use and adoption program.
Yeah, sure. So hi, everybody. My name is Wendy. If you don't know me, I am the CEO of Ohia Technology. I've been working with my son, who obviously founded Tech Savvy Teens for a while now, and he has been working with the Key Project for about a year and a half. And what they do is basically it's a bunch of teens. They go to the Key Project up in Kaneohe. Actually, it's in Kahalu. And monthly, they provide one-on-one tech support for the kupuna there. And they also now do workshops. And workshops are basically either they present on like AI safety, for example, or cybersecurity, and these type of topics. And it's very busy. I mean, when we go monthly, there is like 80 kupuna, hundreds of kupuna having breakfast. And then normally they stay after. So, we've established this relationship. But recently, we brought on Kanaloa, who's on the call, who's going to talk about the actual expo. We have this thing at Tech Savvy called Tech Savvy Teen Expos, where we go to shopping malls or where we go to large community events so that so when you're in the mall, we bring vendors who talk about technology. The teens are up there talking about different tech topics for Kupuna. It's just a really nice community activity expo that we do. And Key Project asked us to do one there. So that's what's happening on April 25th. And because now Kahalu, Kaneohe, I would say the Windward side has gotten so busy with calls for Kupuna tech support, we brought on Kanaloa. So Kanaloa has just joined us about 3 months ago, and he handles all tech savvy teen activities from, I would say, North Shore to Manalo. Yeah, so he is the main presenter. He's the one that works with the community, the schools to bring in the teens to help Kupuna. And yeah, so that's Tech 17s at the moment. We really are expanding. And I think that's where we're really being brought in through this DHHL project to create the workforce development program. So hopefully, as soon as DHHL finish their assessment and their curriculum, we're hoping to partner with them to provide workforce development, because Tech Savvy Teens is a paid program. Teens are paid. So yeah, so I can hand it over to Kanaloa if you want to talk about what's going on over there.
Aloha. To piggyback off of what Auntie Wendy and Jaron before said, having Keiki teach kupuna technology, that's our core value. And what these expos do is that we can do that on a mass scale. Usually we go to the senior homes or we go to the community centers, and it's a once a month, once a week thing. But the idea with what's happening April 25th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., is just doing that on a massive scale for as many kupuna and as many community members as possible, because we're offering multiple services. We're offering one-on-one tech support. We're offering vendors to help teach and help kupuna with technology, but we're also opening other services out to the entire community, not just kupuna. So does anyone here have old electronics in their home? Old cell phones, yeah, old computers, heck, old TVs. one of the big services we're providing at this expo is e-recycling. We're going to take people's old electronics and bring them to different e-recyclers on island. And these services are going out to the entire community. And it's just mostly about scale, having these big events to help as many kupuna as possible and help as many people as possible. So that's our goal. Hammer the date again, April 25th, Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mahalo.
So Kanaloa is looking for another 2 vendors you need, right? We just 2 more vendors. Talk about if you have a technology or you want to talk about your company or your services that are tech related that benefit kupuna. You can reach out to me or Kanaloa. The email is support@techsavvyteens.org. And yeah, Kanaloa is a perfect example. He graduated from Castle last year. He graduated Castle and he's 19. So in December, he's going to be 20, which means he's not a teen anymore. And these are the ages, I think, when Jeff was asking about internships, it's these teens that are no longer going to be teens that are going to be looking for internships. And so if you have any internships, keep Tech Savvy Teens in mind.
So Wendy, since you said that, Kekanaloa is going to be 20, you don't kick them out of the of Tech Savvy Teens, right?
No, actually, what's happening is he was one of our top scorers in this digital. He got certified as a IC3 certification and one of the highest scores. So we offered him a training position to train other teens to get certified. And so as we had technology, we're like, hey, you want to train teens? And he's like, yeah, sure. So, he's got already a job offer, but hey, if DHHL was offering a job or an internship, I'm sure he'd be interested in that.
Well, I think you have a good model where people can come on board as teenagers, build some experience, build some people skills, interacting, and as these opportunities for internships and other let's say positions open up, I think it's a great way to get them placed. And I don't know, Nick, I know you're getting ready to run off. Maybe he took off already. But I think, Wendy, one of the things that I did want to ask you is that you're expanding throughout the state. So it's not just Oahu. You have some partners and some presence on the neighbor islands. Could you say a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So as Jaffa goes and Kanaloa goes and they meet at all these different community events, they've been connecting with other islands who are asking for the program in other islands. So Imua, Onipa'a, Gary, and Nick, who are on this call, I believe, we just had a chat yesterday, and we're right in the middle of reviewing some agreements and hoping to license Tech Savvy Teen in Maui. So they would be the official partner once everything's signed for Maui. And all that means is that we can expand and scale to other islands and provide the other islands with basically, the logos, how to run the whole program. So like a franchise model, Jaffer, Kanaloa, and all of us here have been working on a franchise model to expand to all islands so it's easier. And we're almost finished with our portal where everything will be managed on a platform. So we'll be able to track data, certifications, training. So the goal is to be able to track every teen in one portal. But yeah, Maui, Lanai, and Molokai. And then we're talking to another partner for the Big Island right now. So I don't know, it's just happening so fast. And even we had inquiries from Alaska and Guam. And yeah, so I guess we should have a it's just growing. So
Well, we should get you hooked up on Kauai as well.
Yeah, Kauai as well.
Yeah. Kekanaloa, you got your hand up?
Oh no, I was just gonna add on to what Auntie Wendy was saying. Another thing with that is like I've talked to Auntie Wendy about it before, but one of our main goals with that expansion is we're not just going in there and telling how things should be done. Our main goal is like we're teaching the kids how to do it so they can do it themselves. Like we're giving the community the ability to do it themselves. So we're going in there and looking for kids who shine the brightest and giving them the ability to stand on their own so that they can go into their communities and do it.
Great. Well, mahalo. Hey, so let's see. I see Sean, you got your hand up.
Oh, I just had to ask you if you connected with these guys with the portable network kits.
Oh yeah. That's
It
that's
seems like
underway.
a good connection.
Yeah. Wendy, I'll send you some information about that. Maybe there's some tech savvy teens that might want to participate. That's an event that's coming up, but it's not going to happen until September. So there's a little bit of a breather between now and then the main focus is right now the April event at Key Project, and then there's the AI Safety Week that's coming up. And Wendy, since you're on, maybe you can share a little bit about what Jaffer and team are doing with respect to AI Safety Week, because we've talked about AI Safety Week last week, and we can refresh people's minds, but that's going to take place on the 27th. But Wendy, you guys got something happening on the 27th that's separate from the sandbox, right? And it's taking place at IAL Library.
Yeah, so we're hoping, well, yeah, so another thing that we can do, I can open this up to everyone here, is if you need a tech savvy team to attend an event of yours just to support, especially if it's a Kapuna, or we get asked to come to all kinds of events like QR code. A lot of people don't know how to do QR codes. A lot of people don't know how to talk about just to log onto devices. So we go to a lot of events. And if you do have events that you want a team to go to, just let Jaffer or Kanaloa know, because these teams are from your communities, so they're looking for work. So regardless if it's 2-3 hours, they can come out and help. So just keep that in mind. For AI Safety Week, I believe Jaffer, you're going to IAL, right, to do some one-on-one support, and then he flies to Big Island to help the Big Island AI Safety Week. But yeah, basically, it's a lot of recruitment, though. He works a lot. He goes to Big Island, meets with the schools. I think he's meeting with a football team who want to become the coach wants the entire team to be tech savvy. So, yeah, so they'll be there helping out Kapuna with tech or AI questions at least, or how to download ChatGPT. We do a lot of you guys do a lot of that, right, Jeff? You help a lot of Kapuna want to do AI now, but they don't even know how to download the app. So got to get them ready for AI.
So Jaffer, what's happening at the IAL Library?
So we're gonna be there after like all that sandbox stuff. We're gonna be separate. We're gonna be at IAL Library, I think starting at 1 to 3, I think. Around there. Me and a couple
And
teams. Yeah.
that was supporting what the AARP.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna head over to Big Island and with Amber.
Yeah.
So Amber, what you got? What do you have Jaffer doing over there on the Big Island?
Morning, everyone. Yeah, we're going to be doing our AI Safety Week. I was just sending you a note, Bert. I was going to post the posters in the chat, but I'm not able to put images in there. There's a restriction, but I thought we could throw up our registration. I know Jaffer and everyone's probably working on getting folks signed up so we can get our kind of counts for those workshops. So we have 3 different sessions happening on Tuesday, the 28th in Hilo. And we'll have a pop-up outside the Aupuni Center for one-on-one help with doing tech stuff. So yeah, let's throw up our things. And I wanted to just encourage everyone here, if you haven't signed up for your island-specific AI Safety Day workshops, and also for the May 1st convening on Oahu, if you want to throw your name in there, that'll really help us get everything tightened up for our numbers. That would be great. We're looking forward to it.
I put the link for the Luma in the chat.
Okay.
And just to remind people, there's this is going to be rebroadcast on the community access television. And so anybody watching that's interested in AI safety, I would highly advise to click on the link. Unfortunately, I didn't think of doing a QR code and putting it up on the screen, but you know, it's pretty straightforward. Luma.com/AI Safety Hawaii, and that will show you all the events that are planned out for the week of April 27th, and it'll go through the entire week. It's Monday at the Sandbox, and then you got Tuesday on the Big Island, Wednesday on Maui, Thursday on Kauai, and then Friday back at the Sandbox for a symposium. We'll have some speakers. We'll get to also break out into some panels and then talk about, you know, what's next. So it'll be a really good week of discussions around more than just the use of AI, but, you know, what to be aware of, what to be looking for, and how do you respond to certain things that are going to be more frequently shown on anybody's feed, you know, via AI production. So
Hey, Bert, I
please go
did
ahead
want to
and
just
take a look at
add
that.
for folks' curiosity about some of the content. We are definitely going to be having some nice information about AI, some of the deep faking that's happening, some of the scams, and some of the tricky things that AI can get up to. So we are going to be having a bit of focus on that, especially on the May 1st. So if anyone's interested in some of that information, we've been working on kind of upping our curriculum based on some of the community feedback we got. So particularly, I'm interested in learning about how AI can actually mimic someone's voice on a phone call to you to try to get you to do some kind of banking scam. So we're going to really kind of dig into some of that stuff a bit if anyone is curious and wants to join us for that.
Great. Sounds good. Again, the URL to check out is luma.com/AI Safety Hawaii. And that will give you the links to all the events that are taking place during that week of April 27th to May 1st. Okay, with that, I wanted to see if I don't think the B team has any updates, but I don't know, Sarah, is there any latest that might have come up between now and the last time I chatted with you? Well, Dan, sorry, I don't think the bead folks are ready to share anything. So with that, you know, I don't have much more on the agenda. I did want to, you know, kind of feature the discussion around DHHL's RFP, as well as, you know, the work that Tech Savvy Teens is doing. You know, this is the last Broadband Hui for April, and when we come back, we'll be we'll already be in May. I mean, the year is going by super fast. Any questions anybody wants to bring up between now and you know, us winding down the Broadband Hui 268?
Bert, this is Sean. I'll just mention the legislative session is ending between now and the next meeting. And there's one item that I'm interested in. Tomorrow, the Senate Consumer Protection Committee is hearing the nomination of John Itomura to chair the Public Utilities Commission. And since the PUC oversees telecom in Hawaii, I thought folks here might be interested in that. I don't know John, maybe other folks do, but he has a background as a public sector attorney for the state and also running the United Okinawan Association, I think, for quite a while. So he's on the agenda tomorrow for confirmation.
Okay. And then as far as any other, I know you've been sort of monitoring some of the policy things going on, but anything that's still kind of, you know, moving through the the various House or Senate?
At this point in the game, I would defer to Chung. Yes, he's in the inside. The budget is where it's at, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So the schedule is that both the Senate and the House have heard their counterparts' bills, and they've moved the bills back over to the respective, homes. So the next thing that's going to happen is conference, which realistically the public really doesn't have a say, either through public testimonies or submitting written testimonies. You can still reach out if you have concerns or any issues that you need to address. Reach out to the legislators personally, but there isn't an opportunity for public testimonies or public input once conference starts. And that's actually going to start. I don't have the conference schedule in front of me. It hasn't been announced yet, but typically just looking at the timeline, next week likely will start that conference. I think all of them should be televised on YouTube. What you have to check is, if it's a House bill, House has lead, right? And if it's a Senate bill, Senate has lead. So it'll be viewable in their respective YouTube channels. So just kind of bear that in mind. It does take a lot to kind of track these, because a lot of these conference committees, and I'll spend a little bit of time to talk about it. So the conference committees will open. So that's the first time the House and the Senate, they come, they meet, and they'll open the bill, right? So it'll be open for discussion. So that's that first meeting. At that time, they'll say, whether they have an agreement or they need to discuss further, and then they'll defer it. So they'll just kind of kick that discussion down to future time and date. That time could be like a few hours from now, or from that meeting, or it could be another date. So you really have to track that to know when that next meeting is, because the updating gets pretty chaotic. You can imagine, like, as we get towards the end of that conference schedule, right? So it's about a 2-week generally process. So it gets pretty chaotic towards the end. And the updates on the website is not going to happen live, because it does take some time for their IT folks to kind of gather all that information and update the website. So if there's something that you're tracking, you really have to do it in person, or just personally track it, either by coming down in person to the Capitol, or watching the YouTube and trying to catch all of that information. So once all of that discussion is done, then they'll close it by voting it out. Or another result is that they defer it. They can't agree, right? So those are the two kind of the consequences of the conference discussions. So they'll open, they'll have to discuss, they'll probably kick it down to another date and time for closing and voting. And then once that's done, it moves on to, again, down to the floor of the two houses to vote. And then if both houses agree, then it moves on to the governor for his signature. So that's what we're looking at the last 2 weeks. It'll 2 or 3 weeks, yeah, about 2.5 weeks. So more fun. So by the time we meet again, I think it'll be close to adjournment. And so if there are any issues or warnings, you're going to have to use the mail serve to let everyone know what's happening. But that'll be the next 2.5 weeks. Thanks.
Thanks, John. All right. Don, you got anything else? That's it?
That's all I have. I would just keep talking to Chung about I'm assuming since you didn't mention it, Chung, there's no concern in the budget right now. There's no threatened cuts or, we're not promoting any particular funding in the budget. And like you said, it's at this point, the die is cast.
Okay. Any other questions? Any other suggestions for our next Broadband Hui? Anything we should sort of track and keep updated on?
Well, this is Dan. I think we should hear kind of an update on the various contracts from the UH Broadband Office and also from DHHL, kind of the status of the contracts. For example, I don't see Amazon Leo really working very soon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think, and I'm not speaking for the broadband office, but I think it'll be a pretty slow process. I mean, we have Micah, we have Sarah, Crystal on the call, but I don't think, I've given them a chance to say something, but they haven't really chimed in on anything. I think they're here primarily to monitor, but I think it'll be a pretty slow process. But Dan, keep asking.
Of course. I mean, it might make sense to go with essentially giving away Starlink terminals tomorrow. You could have it. So anyway, just a concern there.
Yeah. No, appreciate it. Okay. With that, I'm gonna.
Hey Bert, sorry, this is Amber. I did just
Yeah,
want to kind of
sure.
close this out. I know Dan reminded me, but I've been in touch with some of our close friends in our broadband world that are down in the territories, and I just did want to have everybody just I'm sure most people are aware there's a super typhoon hitting them. It's over top of CNMI right now. So we're all just sending a lot of love their way, and for whatever it's worth, I definitely have gotten communication over the internet. So it seems like their systems are working to communicate with everyone about their status, but they've just had their emergency declaration approved. And I think we're going to be waiting to see tomorrow or the next day. But if anyone saw pictures of it, I'd recommend looking it up. It's pretty insane thing there. The eye of the storm is right over the islands. I think it's the largest typhoon in the history of the Pacific, if I'm not incorrect about that. So I just wanted to kind of put them up into all of our minds and hope for the best for them. I know we're all in that mindset after our Kona storms and all of the events happening here. But yeah, anyway, CNMI is on my mind today, and wishing them all the best, and all of our colleagues and our friends in the digital literacy and connectivity world are hopefully hanging on. Hopefully their computers will boot up tomorrow when the storm passes. Hopefully it passes and we can get some more updates from them. And hopefully there's no major infrastructure damage that's going to keep them from progressing with their BEAD awards and their other stuff. So anyways, I just wanted to close out with that since it has been kind of hard to get information about what's going on over there.
Well, thanks, Amber. And again, thanks everybody for joining us for the 268th Broadband Hui. Our next call is going to be in May. It'll be on May 6th. If you have any suggestions on topics, feel free to email me and I'll get them on the agenda. But between now and then, you folks all, take care. And of course, you all stay awesome. Aloha, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Aloha. I put some suggestions